Hello everyone, this is your friendly neighborhood Dr. Jimmy128 and I am bringing to you another game from the Ghost. For those of you who don't know what that means, that is the Game Evolution Holiday Online StarCraft 2 tournament which was held last December. Why am I casting this? Number one, we need to release some content of you know the event. Number two, I do not have any new replays. So yes, I am trying to cast a video because recently I have not been uploading that many, and I believe you guys deserve more videos. So yes, here we are introducing the players. Of course, before anything else, I'm a bit sleepy, so just trying to make this video before I go to sleep and go to work later on. Introducing the players. We have spawning here on the northern corner of the map. He is the pink Protoss, and then what I would call Cube's prodigy, mini Byron, is what he's known by in Team Cube. He is none other than CubeNothsur. And of course his opponent, a very scary Terran. I mean, just with his team name, you know that this guy is a quality player. He is the blue pieces here on the 2 o'clock position. He's xFgGerms. So this was played, I think, I'm not sure which round, but this was rather deep now into the tournament. And I believe CubeNothsur, yeah, about CubeNothsur, he was the one who actually knocked down Polka Dodge into the loser's bracket, which is a huge upset for us because number one, Nothsur is just a master player, and Polka Dodge is of course a grandmaster. So very scary what CubeNothsur is capable of. Okay, so it looks like this probe though is going to die. He can actually juke the Marine, and it did so right there. Wow, nice control there from Nothsur. He can try and take out the SCV though. Will he get it? No, the SCV will survive, and this probe will not live to see another day. So we won't be seeing any 4 gates from Nothsur as he's already grabbing a second gas. He is chrono boosting the stalker, most likely just to get rid of this SCV and maybe to poke and prod at the front. He's now putting down a second gateway. Apparently he has been spending his chrono boosts on probes as he has quite a lead. He has a 3 harvester lead, and that should increase to like 4 or something. No, that's still 3. He killed one SCV right there, not any reaction from Germs, because he knew that the SCV would die anyway, as a stalker is really fast and has really long, range. And ooh, looks like we're seeing a factory from Germs. Straight up 1-1-1 build, making 1 Hellion. And the sub-3 Marines on the field. Oh, this stalker though should not walk by the ledge or near the ledge of the cliff, as the Marines do have the high ground advantage. And Nothsur needs to keep an eye on his stalker. The stalker is attacking, but he is not microing the stalker. His attention must be elsewhere, as that stalker is taking out a huge amount of resources lost right there. Sad face there from Nothsur, because he knows how much of an investment he lost. Though he was able to take out 1 Marine, but 1 Marine for 1 stalker, Germs will take any day. It looks like Germs though going for a very early push. There's only 1 sentry here at the front of Nothsur, and I'm not sure if Nothsur is aware that this attack is coming. xFgGerms can actually take Nothsur by surprise if he brings in the Hellion and attacks the sentry from the high ground. No, there goes a force field. But this Hellion though is running free in the main base of Nothsur, and there's no probe. No probe has gone down yet, but a good shot can kill a good amount of probes. A lot of probes are now in the orange. There are 2 sentries. Will a probe fall? 1 probe does fall, and however, it looks like the Marines are dealt with, so a potential game, a potential turning point there for the sorry, a potential disaster for Nothsur has been averted. So nice control there from Nothsur, and I'm sorry if my words are not that organized, but nice follow up here. There is already a Banshee in the base of Nothsur, and the cloak is just now on the way. However, Germs can hightail it out of there. There's 3 stalkers there to defend. And looks like Warp Gate has just now finished here. And I like this observer. Really good observer from Nothsur. Because this will allow him to spot the Banshee. If he didn't get that observer, he would be in huge amounts of trouble right now. But however, he is sending the observer over to his opponent's base to check what is going on. He does see the command center. He sees that there is what was that? That another Banshee has spawned, and he does see everything. The base of Germs, and it looks like we're going to see another Banshee now going to harass the probe line. Now, what Germs can actually do is harass from both sides, which is exactly what he is doing. So I like this from Germs, as it'll, the stalkers will be in a tug of war battle as to where should they defend. And looks like a couple of sentries can be sniped. One sentry does get taken out, and looks like more probes are dying. Looking at the unit killed, probe skill or resource harvester skill, 10 total probes have died. A 6 life on this Banshee. One more shot from a sentry would have done it. And very nice harass here from Nothsur, continuing to extend his lead by, of course, grabbing an expansion. He's now preparing to grab his natural, setting down 2 bunkers, sending down the Marines. Just a very solid play right here from Germs. He has transitioned into 3 racks, and he might get some siege tanks. I'm not sure what he is going for, and he's actually lifted the starport. I'm not sure if he meant to do that. I'm not sure if it's a crucial mistake on his end, but this has definitely, delayed a lot of medevac production. I didn't notice this when this game was first played out. So it looks like the robotics support bay was cancelled and replaced with a Twilight Council. Blink is now done, so it looks like Nothsur feels looks like he's gonna take out the Banshee. Nothsur feels like he needs to do something. He knows he is behind, as a lot of probes have died, and no damage has been done at all to Germs. But his natural expansion, though, is very well established, very well protected. Just trying to poke with these blink stalkers to see what he can do. Trying to hit a little bit, damage the bunker a little bit. Try to poke and try to cause as much damage as he can. However, there's just too many defenses from Germs. Even included the Banshees in his main army, which is actually something that a lot of Tyrants do not do, because mostly Tyrants use Banshees for harassment, but they also make a great army unit dealing massive damage to opponents. And there is going to be a drop here in the main, and it looks like Nothsur, though, is Germs is not going to drop. Germs gets spotted, and will he lose the medevac? Oh no. Even losing 2 Banshees here and blinking away from the Marauders, forcing a stim there on the army. Taking out that observer, very nice play there. However, Nothsur, though, is slowly making his way back. He is already ahead in the units lost, ahead because he has lost less. So he just has his observer patrolling the area, trying to check for any more drops. And what is this army doing here up in the open? Food wise, Germs is still ahead. Income tab shows he is also ahead in the harvesters. So executive select speed now. And I'm not sure if Germ should move out army size. Army wise, his army is still larger though, so so he can make something happen with an attack. However, a lot of his infantry are in the yellow, as medevac production has not been very optimal. This is maybe something that Germs has been lacking. He needs to grab this other geyser so that he can support double medevac production. And it's like an immortal now coming out for Nothsur, a very vital unit, as those marauders can definitely you know, take care of stalkers. So the immortal is the best answer to that. And it looks like a robotics bait has now been replanted down by Nothsur. Remember, he did plant down a robo bait earlier in the game, however he decided to cancel that. Looks like Germs with scouting factory, maybe to try and see what he can do. And Germs moving out. He does have one medevac, but I don't think it would be enough though. But will this medevac fall? Blink there to try and scare the army away. However, I'm very nervous for this medevac. Really, and it looks like Nothsur has now established his own expansion, and he has caught up in the harvester. In the harvester count, he is now ahead. Thank God he dropped those marauders, and we should see Germs try, maybe grab a third expansion, continue to extend his lead by increasing his economy. Looks like we only have a second dropship here. No, not that much dropship production from Germs, and this might bite him in the back later on. And he's going to be mined out of his main in a while. He needs to. There you go. He's going to grab a third command center, and it looks like Nothsur just waiting for a Colossus. He might be thinking of moving out. He might. The smart thing though is to wait for a second Colossus, and I like his macro though. He is keeping his money low. He has a good amount of gateways, nice production. He's also getting, no, he's not getting any upgrades at all, but he looks like he's going to move out here in the field, and a stim now going down from xFgGerms. The charge outs are moving in, but there are just too many marauders here on the field. But the force field will definitely cutting the army in half, but it looks like the marauders will just overpower everything. The Colossus fell. Looks like he's going to lose this immortally. Wisely blinks away, trying to save as many units as he can. He needs to warp in a bunch of units right now. It looks like Germs, so he might overextend here. The stalkers will be able to get the medevacs full of units, and this is going to be a huge turnaround as Nothsur is now pushing back xFgGerms, and he takes out that medevac full of units, and he just calmly blink micros his stalkers to take absolutely no damage from those marauders. Nothsur with a 180-degree play there, shifting the entire momentum in his favor. xFgGerms just overextending himself, not really controlling those medevacs very well now. +1 attack is now being upgraded. However, here comes Nothsur knocking on the front door of xFgGerms. And he doesn't have that many units though. So there's a couple of marauders and a handful of marines. This Colossus, can shoot all day long, kill as much as he can. This bunker is taking quite a lot of damage. And Nothsur though should not overextend himself. He has to be very careful. And there is one Banshee. Control the stalkers and snipe the Banshee, sir. Come on. Sorry, I'm not supposed to be biased, but there are more marauders now out on the field, and it looks like Germs now trying to move out, trying to break this contain. However, the Colossus is doing so much damage. The Vikings though will be able to take out the Colossus. Another Colossus is going to be taken out here in the north, and it looks like the marauders though are outnumbered by the blink stalkers. And a pylon is now about to be warped in, and Nothsur can continue the pressure. He's warping in 4 zealots, which is a good choice indeed, as there are a lot of marauders here on the field. However, 82 to 73, xFgGerms is slowly catching up, but he is mined out of his main. He only has 1 expansion. And here comes the blink up to the high ground. Nothsur taking out a couple of supply depots, but he has xFgGerms in a choke. Not the best here. The concave proving to be very useful, even landing down the Vikings, but the Vikings can't do anything. There are more marauders here on the top, and the zealots are now coming in. Attacking the ramp, Nothsur wisely backs out and waits for this one Colossus, and this could be the unit that ends the game for Germs, as the Colossus can take out all these Marauders in about, I'd say, 2 shots. 3 Marauders go down, there goes the 4th, 5th, and uh-oh, no more Marauders on the field. And it looks like Nothsur is going to take this game. A huge turning point there with that huge battle in the middle of the map, as xFgGerms just overextended himself right there. And Nothsur, I believe he's the one who knocked out xFgGerms from the tournament and takes a huge win. And yeah, that was rather exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and this has been your friendly neighborhood Dr. Jimmy signing off, and I will sleep. Bye bye.